Fake Radio. We back. Long-haired twin in the building. Yo,
Gang, gang. You know how it
introduce
goes.
yourself.
My name is Hiram Torres. I'm from Long Beach, California. You can find me on the socials, HIRAM_562. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how you say his name.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Where so you rapper, producer. You're from LA, right?
Yeah, I'm from Long Beach.
Right,
I was born, I hate to say where I'm born. It was technically Orange County.
Okay.
Which is just like a scorn on my life.
Uh-huh.
If I'm being real. I was born in Los Alamitos, which is literally the city right next to it. I always jokingly call it the most LAOC city. Uh-huh. So I wasn't born and raised in Long Beach, just raised. But yeah.
Got you.
I stole all the 562 area code.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
how'd you get into music? What inspirations growing up?
So very vividly, I was really into like music growing up as a kid, but like it was the definitive moment was like listening to the radio as a kid, and like 2005 is the year, and I'm like 8 years old in my dad's car, and we're listening to 106.7 KROQ, which is the rock station out here, or was. I mean, they've kind of switched to like alt, but at the time they were still playing like heavy freaking music. So System of a Down, being an LA band, was heavily on the airways. Right. And BYOB had just come out. And I remember the first time hearing BYOB and just being like, oh my God, what the hell is this? This is the craziest music I've ever heard. And then I didn't really look back. My mom was like, you really like music. And as a kid, I always wanted to, like, I don't know, be a scientist for some reason. I was a weirdo. I wanted to be like a geologist, to be real. I really wanted to do like some sort of intelligent thing, and then like my mom was always like, nah, you should be like a music producer or like something, because you have a good ear. That's what she would always say. Your mom caught that. She did, thankfully. And like I got into 4th grade, and like 3rd grade you can start learning an instrument, so it was like you can play violin. Okay. And I didn't learn violin. I don't know why I didn't choose, but once 4th grade came around, that's what's up. Yeah. I wish I did. Violin looks fun as fuck.
I was shit at it, but
type beat.
But
no, it's hard as fuck. And then like I ended up learning clarinet, and I literally just picked clarinet for no reason, but it sounded cool. Right. I knew what a saxophone was. I knew what a trumpet was. I didn't even know what the fuck a clarinet was. I was like, yo, this thing is like the longest spelling wise. It's like 3 syllables. I'm picking clarinet. Yeah. And that's just how you make decisions as a kid.
Klezmer music. That's real shit. Nah, that's cool. So then, how'd you get into rapping?
So real shit. My dad loves music. Both my parents love music. My mom's taste is definitely more on like, if she had to like pick her favorite bands, it'd be like Smashing Pumpkins. It'd be like Cocteau Twins and stuff, like even like Portishead. Right. My dad liked everything too. He liked all that rock shit too, but he also like was really into Dr. Dre. Yeah. Pretty much anything in Dre's camp. So we had like Exhibit, we had Eminem, we had 50, and then also anything West Coast adjacent, really. So a lot of like DJ Quick, a lot of West Side Connection, so like Cube, Dub C, all them cats, Mac 10. And I, as a kid, really didn't like the hip hop. I think I was just too young to understand the impactfulness of like what they were saying. And to me, I was just like, I like guitars. I'm not really feeling the reusing and shit. And it wasn't really until high school that like Odd Future came out, and I finally understood like a youthful sense of hip hop. Not to say it was like an old man's world, but like I'm not 50 Cent. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't really relate to like The Game or 50 Cent. But once Tyler and Earl came out, I was like, my people. And then like that's where I really like dove into hip hop, and then I realized Kendrick Lamar is like the best artist ever, and then it was over. Yeah, pretty much never looked back.
Awesome. So you got the album that came out in 22. The best part of the painting is never the center.
Yeah, I do.
How'd that come about? How the construction? How long was that album in the making? Because I like that album like conceptually, like.
Thank you.
How it all kind of is like good, like world building type shit.
Yeah, that's what that shit is. It's the introduction to my life, which is like,
got you.
It's crazy. I think one of my good friends, Eric, shout out Eric, he always talks about how like an artist's first album tends to be one of their best because it's like you had your whole life to live to make that album.
Yeah.
Whereas the next album, sometimes you had 2 years to make the second album. So it doesn't, it's not really like all the energy and like, you know, brainstorming is there. Mm-hmm. So like when I started making a first album, I was working, it was after COVID. Yeah. I got a temp job because I was pretty much jobless after COVID. I was working at a theater. The theater shut down all of COVID, obviously. That was the last thing to open up because it's a concert venue.
Yeah, no, that's
so, like, I didn't go back when they reopened anyways because they kind of sucked. Yeah. And then I got a temp job at Toyota where I just literally worked at the Port of Long Beach, and I would drive cars fresh off the boat and get them primed and ready for the dealership. And while I had that job is when I really started to, like, figure music out. Like, all before that, I was really working with my homie Dylan, making, like, film and shit. And, like, I was telling bro, like, I need to figure out how to do music. And he's like, yeah, you'll figure it out, but you should just, you know, really try. And I finally, like, around that era started making music that I was like, oh, I could release this. Yeah. And I quite literally work in that Toyota job, not ghostwritten, sorry, not the word I wanted to use. In my head, I like wrote pretty much most of that album for sure.
Okay.
Being at Toyota, like people would be like, "What's your name?" Hiram. Hiram. You know,
that's true.
And then I got into a point where I was just like in my head after like the fourth person fucked my name up. I was like, "Shut up, bitch."
I have a question about that song.
Yeah.
What's with the French at the beginning?
So
what was that?
So I use a lot of French. It really comes from the world building, like you said. A lot of the albums inspired by specifically French New Wave film from like the 60s and shit. So like Jean-Luc Godard and all that type of shit. Yeah. But even and he's not technically French New Wave, but Luis Buñuel has a lot of French films, and he's a Spanish director. Yeah, he's very prolific. He went to Mexico and made some dope films, but he has a film called Belle de Jour, and that was like the first like French film I watched, and was like I am fucking enthralled. So like that film, and then I'm gonna look something up because my mind is blanking. But that film specifically Belle de Jour, but then there's the artwork is specifically has of not the green artwork, but the other artwork is a still from why can't I think of the name? Vis-a-Vis is the name of the movie.
Vis-a-Vis, okay.
That movie literally took so much like source material from that and tried to implement it in my music. Yeah. And so like since there was such an overwhelming French theme, and this is the funniest shit, dog. I literally went to Reddit and found it was like R Speak French. And this is before I really even dropped a song or anything dropped. Forrest Whitaker might have been out, but that's it. Right. And I was like, I need somebody to curse me out in French. That was literally the prompt I put on Reddit. Can somebody curse me the fuck out in French and like say heinous things at me?
So that's like a Reddit. That was a Reddit person?
That was a Reddit connection. I
thought that was a sample. That's a Reddit. You found that person off Reddit. Yeah. And then had them. That's crazy. That's so funny.
Wait, I like love that literally this girl, like they took the post down because they were like, this doesn't go with the guidelines. This is like a learning like French subreddit, and nobody here is learning French from this. So it got deleted, but before it got deleted, one person messaged me.
That's all you needed.
She literally came through. She recorded it on her phone, and I was like, yeah, can you? My name is Hiram. I need you to just curse me out. Yeah, and I was like, it would just go along with the theme. I feel like I was introducing, like, the first song is supposed to be like, here's who I am before me, and the second song is like, here's who I am now. Right. So I thought it'd be fun to introduce me with like a woman cursing me out to like kind of build my character of this guy who's kind of with, you know, French women who are upset at him.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. That's crazy though, and that song goes off. So
tight shit.
It's all, but I have it so. Talking about French New Wave films, you're like a film nerd, right? Because you got the Forrest Whitaker song, and then you reference Jim Jarmusch in the song.
Yes, I do. Jim Jarmusch is one of my favorite directors ever.
Yes, sir. That's a great director. And you got the Steve Buscemi song too.
Yeah.
So what are like some of your favorite films?
Okay. Of all time, the one that really made me fall in love with film, which is such a stereotypical answer, but fuck, is it so good? Is Pulp Fiction.
That's a good one.
Like the first time I saw Pulp Fiction was like the first time I feel like movies spoke to me, and it spoke to me in like the creative sense, because like younger, it was really hard for me to like give a fuck about anything that wasn't like just the straight musical aspect as a kid. Like I had that childlike wonder of being like, oh, the instruments are cool, and I wouldn't listen to words or really care about that. And I feel like Pulp Fiction was the first movie I saw that was more structured, like a fucking crazy ride, versus like, I don't know, me trying to teach me something.
Yeah.
Like a lot of film, or like a lot of like shit I've watched was very, and not all of it. Like, you know, you watch Terminator 2 and you're like, yo, this is action packed, but like, that was like the one where I actually did care about the dialogue and the story to like a mad extent. And I was like, yo, I like how these stories intertwine. I like how they're unsequential. I like how I see bro get popped on the toilet and then he's in the next scene. Like, I loved it all.
Crazy. So
that would be like the one for sure.
Right.
The definitive answer. But I have a lot, man. Like another big one for me is like Full Metal Jacket.
Yep.
It's huge. I do love Stanley a lot, but that one specifically, that one, Eyes Wide Shut, like fucking speak to me.
No, those are some crazy shit.
I love those. Goodfellas is another one that really changed my life.
For sure.
That one made me care, I think, about dialogue even more than any other film, and the world building of that. I loved like the dual. It's one of the first movies I think I saw where there's like two dual like inner monologues, and that was such a unique thing for me, because you have Ray Liotta's character, and I forget homegirl's name, but his wife also has like an inner monologue.
Got you.
And I was like, damn, like this is like the stuff they tell you, and I didn't go to film school, but I studied enough like around. They tell you not to ever do like inner monologues. It's like something you're supposed to avoid in film, because it's like a cop out, yada yada yada. And here I see Martin Scorsese doing it fucking twice, and I'm like, yo, go.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna make this work type shit. Like in his last movie, wasn't like he pops out at the end and has like a monologue. I was like, that's crazy. The director of the film has the monologue at the end of the movie, but like it worked because he does it right. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's his whole shit.
Tight shit. And then back to like Jarmusch. Love Jarmusch a lot. And like Cronenberg's my other like all time favorite.
Because you referenced a Cronenberg
a couple times. The Fly is referenced for sure. I want to say I do another one, but I love David Cronenberg. Like, he's for sure cool. He probably is dethroned Tarantino as my favorite director at this point.
Cronenberg's your favorite director?
Probably at this point. Okay. I love like the body horror, the way he tells stories. Naked Lunch is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I don't think I've seen that one, but
it's crazy. It's a William S. Burroughs book, and if you know anything about that man, he was a psycho, crazy motherfucker. Yeah. It's basically loosely about his life, but it's also like he wrote a book, and the book Naked Lunch is just a bunch of like nonsense. It's been banned a bunch because it's it's just him like heroin ramblings, dog. It's great.
Damn, I'm gonna check that out then. It's
for sure. Naked Lunch is crazy. It's a trip.
Cool. Another song I love from you is the song Smoke. That's a good one too.
Yeah, it's an underrated jam.
Story of that song.
Yeah.
How'd that one come about?
Well, Smoke came about because I smoke weed, but besides that, I really like reggae music. During COVID, I really got into two genres. It was like reggae and soul. It was like no new music was coming out. I'm like, let me go back in time. I got really into roots reggae music, like obviously Bob Marley and shit, but like I was really listening to like what's the song, Night Nurse by like Gregory Isaacs and that type of shit. I really liked Horace Andy, who like did a lot of work with Massive Attack and shit like that, and all these like really fucking dope old like The Harder They Fall soundtrack, The Harder They Come soundtrack, sorry. That's like an old reggae. Why can't I think of that guy's name? There's so many names, but like I was listening to a lot of that old shit, and I was like, when I was making the album, I wanted to genre bend a lot. And like Smoke specifically, I was like, well, duh, if I make a weed smoking song, why not make it reggae? But I didn't want to make it like stereotypical corny reggae, because that's very common in like the people who try to do reggae and they've never really gone about it. Like I love Sublime, don't get me wrong, but like that's not reggae at the end of the day. It's very reggae influenced, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I was like really trying to make a roots reggae song. And then also like that intro ended up being the end of the song. So the song starts off with like the all I do is smoke, like the whisper shit. Originally, that was at the end of the song. That's supposed to be how it ended, and then like one day I was listening to it and I was like, this should really be the beginning. And then it goes off as the beginning.
Reggae. Yeah, no, sets the tone for sure.
Yeah. So like that was how that song really came about. Just my love for reggae and wanting to make like a more authentic roots reggae, because I really use like organ, guitar, bass. It is a synth bass, but like everything I did was like more of the reggae instruments, and it has trap drums.
Yeah, and you produced everything off that project. And
you
produced like all your music.
Pretty much. The only song I think in my discography, I only have 2 right now. It's my song "Smile Like Buscemi's," produced by my homie Ray K out in India. He's like I worked with him at that theater I was talking about, and he ended up going back to New Delhi, and he's out there now. And we still work together. We still talk together. We haven't done much music lately. He's very much on the West Coast tip. He makes like very West Coast oriented beats. So like every time I'm trying to get on a beat from him, he's like playing me shit. I'm like, fuck, this is dope, but like I'm like, I don't know what I'm not gonna spend on somebody on this shit. So it's like dope as fuck, but I'm not like on that wave. I digress though. Like he's so dope, and like I asked him to make Smile Like Buscemi specifically for me. I was like, I need some Chief Keef type shit, and he came through so clutch.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah.
So you got that one, and then there's another song you just got.
Roadrunner, which is like the second song I dropped. He also produced that one. Those are the only songs at the moment. And then I gave Mercutio X production credit on my new EP, because he like gave me some advice, and I was like, this is a production credit.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Right, because he does producing too.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure Mercutio makes beats. I haven't asked him. Next time I see him.
Because when I heard him, because I remember I was like paying attention to the production, but that's because when he was producing, he said it was produced by Adam Blacken, I know who that is. Shout out him. So
shout out Adam. Like, shout out fucking Mercutio. Those are my boys from the IE. I fuck with both of them heavy.
I was like paying attention. I was like, okay, fine.
They're so clean. But like Mercutio, he was like, there was the song on my new EP called Better Man.
Yeah.
He's on it, and he was like, yo, like when Cold Speech comes in, like originally it was just the beat by itself again. Like how that one, there's like a part where the drums drop out. He was like, I don't think it hits hard enough. He was like, take that out and just make the drums only, and that's how I ended up on the project. And I was like, that was a good fucking call. Here's a production credit type shit.
And I'm gonna ask you this, but what program do you use for like producing?
I use Reason.
You use Reason?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that one.
Reason is it was originally, I mean, the company still exists, but they were originally called Propellerhead Studios.
Got you.
They were really only known for Reason, so they changed their name to Reason Studios, but it's the same company. I love them. Shout out my Swedish bros. They made, I thought, the coolest DAW. When I went to learn music, I was like 2017, like when I learned to like produce digitally in that whole aspect. And I was in college, and I was at Musicians Institute. And they offered, you had to take a DAW as like a course, like part of graduation. So you had to take either like Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton, and they had Reason as a class. And like, I shit you not, I swear to God, I went on YouTube and typed in, what's the easiest DAW to make hip hop?
Yeah.
I don't know why, where, how I ended up on a message board that was like some guy who was just like, yeah, I love Reason. Reason's great. Everybody should use Reason. And I was like, cool, my school offers this. I didn't want to learn Logic because everybody was learning Logic. I didn't want to learn Pro Tools. I ended up learning Pro Tools, but I didn't want to learn it yet because I was like, this is hard. It's a learning curve. Right. And then Ableton also just really didn't appeal to me because it was like very much the EDM crowd, especially
back then. That's true. Ableton is a more techno EDM.
Most definitely. Focused. So I was like... Yeah, let me try Reason out. And I loved how it looked like Reason is designed to look like an actual like board. So when you go in the studio, you have an actual console. Yeah. So there's like 3 different views. You have like your session view, you have a rack view, which is like rack mounts. That's where you put all your effects and shit. Yeah. So every effect in there's really like a rack mount. And then you have like the mixer board section, which is, you know, every DAW has that. But there's like they have an actual like channel strip on there. So like whenever you put a channel, like when you create a channel in Reason, you have a channel strip where you can EQ and compress just right then and there without anything else. Just really fucking cool. And I think they modeled everything off of SL software, like SL hardware. So when they made the DAW, it was like all replicating like real hardware instruments and like hardware software. So yeah, shout out Reason. Big advocator for Reason.
Yeah. And how, like, what I'm gonna ask like what inspired like a lot of the like choruses and like songwriting inflections you do is like mad unique, like in Panorama or Panorama Mist or in like BQ. I love BQ. That song is like crazy as fuck.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
How do you kind of like what's your like songwriting techniques like? How you, like,
I tell everybody like I don't really stop writing.
Yeah.
Every day I'm like rapping in my head constantly, and I've been doing this for years. And at some point I just like I was telling you earlier, that whole first album I really did like write it in my head as I was working at Toyota.
Yep.
So Forest Whitaker was I don't think I ever wrote that song down. I never wrote it down. I kind of Lil Wayne'd it and just recorded it, but I didn't know it. Where Wayne will just like fucking spit it right then and there.
Right, yeah.
But that's kind of where I to this day like I try to like be. I think that's the coolest. Like people like Denzel Curry and Lil Wayne and Jay-Z who can literally just fucking go up to the mic and spit a 16.
Yeah.
Trying to get like that. But it's hard as fuck, and it takes a lot of work. And like that's kind of how I see writing. I want to be the best and the fastest. So I don't really necessarily like my ideas just live rent free in my head. It's just about putting words to it. But like the vocal inflections really come from just trying to stick out and be unique. Like especially like Forest Whitaker, like the baby looking fine. Like I tell everybody like 50 Cent's a big influence on that for sure. 50 Cent was like one of the first ones, like Window Shopper. I love the fucking second or third verse. I forget which one it is, but there's a whole verse where like he starts every note with like and I love that so much when they like just hit the one note, because it's just ear candy at the end of the day. It's very poppy ear candy. So like I always try to have like a pop idea and like conceptual like melodies key, right?
Yeah.
So even when I'm writing a hook, I'm trying to be as like melodic or interesting as I can. So that's really, I think about a lot of things when it comes to writing.
You got some rock influences too, like on that song Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel's dope. It was one of the songs I didn't like as much, and then after seeing how everybody loved that song, I was like, this is a good song.
No, yeah, you're a great like performer. Like I'll hear the songs and I'll just like it'll immediately go to like me seeing it live, like how you do it. Like I'll be like
fire.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm like I actually kind of feel like my live show does sound very much like the album, which is cool right now.
That's true.
I think that's great right now. Eventually I want like, to elevate that show and like have a band and like the music is like larger when you see it live, but I don't need that right now. Until then, I think it's really dope because I see a lot of people who I'm like, it just didn't sound like the record, which is cool. Like, that's an experience in its own. But I think it's really unique when you see somebody live and you're like, oh my God, this sounds just like the recording.
True. And you sound like that. And then Nevi on his new project that you produced also, like, I'm like, he sent me the album and I was like, I've heard this song before because I've heard it live and it's like the same, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, definitely. Nevi's, thank you. Appreciate that compliment.
So how did you produce for Nevi? I met you through Nevi.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I met you at officially met you at an open mic that Nevi was not at, but I knew that you were
That's
cool
crazy. I'm glad you remember that. I was trying to think how we didn't meet because I've been to so many fucking events, and I'm just like, which one did we meet at? Was it something dope or was it something else?
No, it was
green tea.
Yeah, it was green tea. It was the last green tea thing I went to.
Yeah, I've been to a green tea thing in a long time. That's what's up.
Yeah, no, because I would like see you at Nevi's events, and I like knew that you were like in that circle. Yeah, and then that green tea open mic is just like when we got to like talking officially
type shit. Yeah, I do remember that because I think I met I met Jen Warner that night. Jenny came up to me.
Jen Warner was there too.
Yeah, you could not miss that man. He was all Charizard out, and I was like, yo, dude, you hang out with Meredith, and I think you know Nevi. And he was like, yeah, who are you? And I was like, I'm Hiram. Oh, dope. And then like, who else did I meet that night? I had a couple other people. It was a dope night though.
Yeah, BK was there.
Oh wow, that was dope. A lot of
people were there. But so how did you get in contact with Nevi?
Yes.
How'd you?
I met Nevi. It's funny because, like you said, you just see people, and I just started going out to the LA scene.
Yeah.
I just started like becoming who Hiram Torres is, really.
Right.
And I don't even think Forest Whitaker was out yet, but I was getting ready to drop and like make some noises and get on shows.
Yeah.
And I went to Bananas in Leimert Park.
Right.
And
yeah,
before I met him, he's so fucking hard to miss.
nah, yeah.
Nevi Outlyr is just a beaming beacon that when you see him,
he's in the center of the situation. Like,
yeah, it's all revolving around bro. So like, I just remember seeing him move and not talking to bro at all that night, but just being like, damn, he's navigating.
Right.
I need to talk to him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally the same week, I run into him again at the Resident.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we were at Payday at the time. Payday LA was doing a show at the Resident. And I think like Noah James performed that night.
Okay.
And like, who the fuck else? I don't know. Was Satire on that night? Satire might have performed.
Okay.
It was dope. I digress. The night's like over, and I just like kind of just tap on him, and I was like, yo, like, I saw you at Bananas the other day. And he was like, yeah, I'd be around, what's your name? And then we dabbed up. He invited me. He was just releasing his EP Broken Lease.
Okay.
He invited me to the album release show that he was throwing at his dad's pad. And like, I was like, word, I'll pull up. And I don't think he expected me to pull up, and I did.
Yeah.
And like, he introduced me to Eric and Barry, and who else? It might have been John Mayer.
Okay.
They were all there. I don't know if Huggy was there, but he introduced me to like everybody and was like, yeah, this is the squad. Like, enjoy the show. And Eric performed. I want to say Eric and Barry both performed.
Berry Juice?
Yeah, Berry Juice.
Got you.
And I'm watching all of them perform. I'm getting high as hell. His dad at the time was like all about smoking. He's sober now. Shout out Seals Jr. or Senior. Sorry.
Shout
out Senior.
Yeah.
He right now. But he had the biggest fucking pipe with the biggest bowl, and we were just filling that bitch up and passing it around. That's OG. It's baller as fuck. There's nothing baller than a big pipe and passing that around. That's like, everybody talks about the joint experience. No. The giant pipe that we're all sharing, and we're all putting our mouths on this glass tip together.
That's
beautiful. That's art.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that's really where, like, I'll never forget the conversation at the end of the night I had with Nevi, because we're just like kind of just like talking about life and like yada yada, and he just looked at me and said, bro, I'm trying to blow up and like be something. And I like immediately was like, okay, cool, I'm amongst the right human being. And at some point we had a session, and I went up to Sabi's pad in Norwalk. And I brought a beat I made that day. It was a song that's gonna be on the album called Baby Mama. So that song, it's the first song we ever made.
Fine.
And we made another song that's probably not gonna come out called Fogers. And that was really like, I think he called me the next day, and I don't think there's been a day he hasn't called me since.
That's what's up. And that made, like, that's beautiful too, because like, I like assume just like from hearing the like music that you have, hearing the music he has, like hearing the music y'all have together, because y'all dropped a new single. Like, I just like assume that y'all like really came up together, because like y'all have like such similar sounds, similar styles, similar just like humor. So it's like, I just assume, but that's cool that y'all, like, you met him, like you saw him at a cypher, then you met him at a show, and it kind of was just like a chance thing that all kind of just grew into what it is now. That's like, that's cool. No,
thank you. Yeah, I don't really think about it.
In LA. That's like a very LA thing, like where you like see someone around and then you just kind of like grow in, like, because I've seen that happen a few times, and always I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you just met him at this, and then it's like, now you're like clicking. That's
It's crazy as fuck. I feel like, I mean, even like you and me, there's definitely so many people in LA where I'm like, dude, I've seen you so many times, and you just finally start talking to them, and you're like, word. Now we're homies.
No.
Clean.
People just like come up and they'll be like, I have to, like, someone just came up to me like a few months ago, and he was like, I see you like 2 times a week. Like, I have to just know who you are, because I'm hard to miss what they hear and shit. So then I'm like, oh, like, that's funny. Like, I don't even know. Like, I haven't even seen you before, but like clearly, like, be around. Yeah,
brand is important.
That is important. But so you got the EP Ote Mesa.
Yes,
out now.
I did finally dropped a new project after like 3 years, which is trash. But I'm glad, and I don't think we're stopping now. Yeah, I think the train is choo-chooing. Yeah, I'm very happy with Ote Mesa. It's a very personal project. It's really just 4 songs of me pouring my heart out as far as like how I was feeling about certain things. It was
Yeah.
originally just 3 songs, and then I decided the Better Man beat I had laying around for fucking ever. It's a chop of this old like jazz record from the 70s by this band called Cortex, sorry, and like it's been sampled a billion times. It's fucking One Beer by MF Doom. Wiz has his song Wiz Khalifa on like the Cushion OJ mixtape. I forget the name of the song. It's been sampled a bunch, and like I had it laying around, and it was like, okay, I guess we'll add this one because this is hard. But everything was like pretty much made like on the spot. That was the quickest I'd ever made music and then released it for sure.
Got you. Got you. Who are you sampling on Devil's work? Because I know that sample from somewhere, but
you don't.
I don't.
You don't know that sample from anywhere. I promise you. But yes, it is an obscure Eastern European prog rock sample.
Interesting, but like, why does it sound like a Drake song? Because
bro, I it's funny you say that. I think that's just very like hip hop. Yeah, it's very like trappy, dude.
I was like, oh, did he sample a Drake song on this? Like, I've heard this piece somewhere. But that's lit. Funny.
No, for sure. It's a chop. I'll play the song after this for you. I'll find it.
Word.
It's an obscure sample. If whoever's seeing this, and if I sampled you, I'm so sorry I didn't clear it. I'm broke. I will clear it one day. You can sue me for all of the rights. I don't care. You can take 100%. Fuck it. But I digress. Just be nice.
And you got visuals for one of the songs.
Dollar Bins has visuals.
Bins,
Devil's Work has visuals too. We just haven't released it yet. I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet.
Fire. You got Berry Juice on there. You got Mercutio X. That's your first time working with like features.
Really, it is. It is the first time I got features. I think for my albums there might not be many features, if ever, but like other subsequent releases, like I have mixtape on the way that's gonna have features. But like,
you got a mixtape on the way?
Ideally, yeah. It's been in the oven for a while.
I can't speak on, but everybody got mixtapes coming.
It's like, bro, if I'm gonna give you something and I'm gonna put all this work in and we're already not gonna get any money from it, let's just call it a mixtape. Those
Swamp Izzo interludes got people.
They got them hooked.
I mean, I can't credit that because the mixtapes have been in the works for a minute, but we got a lot coming out.
Love. But the features were dope. I really Barry was somebody I've known for a minute now. Like I said, I met him that one night at Nevi's party, and like Barry was just like, and Eric, both of them. I love them both to death. We can just get along and talk about dumb shit and be fun. And like, I've had a lot of fun with them lately. We've been like, I've been pulling up to all of Sock Juice's shows, and they're like in his band, and it's just been like a good time chilling and hanging with them. And like, I just had that record and was like, I don't see anybody else on this record but Barry, because Barry had came out with his album Idiot, and it was very much like, I love how he talks about love and relationships and like feelings. Yeah. And I was like, there's nobody else that's going to get on this track than him. So I got him on that song, Lost in Translation. Yeah. And then like Better Man was just like a rap record. Yeah. And Cold Speech had hit me up. He DM'd me one day like, yo, we need a record. And I was like, word. Dope. I'll fuck with you. Let's do it. And then I sent him that. And then I had the idea of being like, well, I need another good rapper to like rap on this track with us.
And then you got Mercutio.
Mercutio is one of the best rappers I know, not named me or Nevi. So I was like, cool, I'm going to get you on this record.
Crazy rapper. Yeah. No, but Berry Juice, I've been like, because I met him briefly at your show. Yeah. But I've heard his name like so many times. Like so many people be like, I got Barry to play saxophone on this. Oh, I got Barry to do this on this. Oh, I got Barry. I'm like, Berry Juice? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I know. I'm hip to
Bro,
that. Yeah.
He's such a talented individual. I mean, it's crazy. This like circle that Nevi and I have kind of built around us is just diabolical talent. Like you have Sabi, who can just like do fucking everything. He can engineer, produce, sing, record on a camera. Like we have fucking Barry, who literally one of the best writers I know. He plays bass so majestically.
He plays bass too. That's crazy.
I didn't know he played sax.
Yeah, it was I think he because someone was telling me like he got Barry to do saxophone. I was like, Berry Juice, and they was like, yeah. I was like,
that's fire. Okay. Yeah, Berry Juice is stupid, mad, talented. Love, bro. Hell yeah.
Crazy. So in Fake Radio, we have a game. Choose one artist who you know in real life,
Mm-hmm.
who you want to have like a collab with, have a feature with, who you haven't done a feature with yet, and then one artist who you don't know in real life, like dream collab.
Dream collab. Okay, so
yeah.
artists I know in real life that I really want a song with.
Mhm.
I feel like I have a couple, but I'll go
Yeah.
with the one that's probably gonna happen the soonest, which is Huggy Does It. We have
Yeah.
no songs
Yup.
together.
That's true. I was about to say like
Stupid
yeah.
as fuck. I'm literally
Huggy.
making him a pack right now as
Hell
we
yeah.
speak.
There
So
we go.
I'm sure
Wow.
that's gonna happen sooner
That would
than
go
later.
crazy.
Yeah, Huggy
Yeah.
for sure will be my answer.
Yeah.
As far as people I don't know, like anybody,
Uh-huh.
such a great question. I've been asked a couple times.
Yeah.
I think my first answer, as much as I want to answer somebody else's, would have to be Rico Nasty, because like
Y'all be fire.
that's just chemistry.
Fire.
That's just
Yeah.
bound to happen. I
That'd be
love. There's
crazy.
not really many people that influence me like she does.
Uh-huh.
For so many reasons. Like her artistry is so fucking fire. Her branding, her marketing, but like her as an individual too. Like she's actually like a really like sweet person, and like she's real as fuck. Like I was on her like, I think when Nasty came out is when I really got on the tape. So I wasn't on like I wasn't on the Sugar Trap like wave as much as I wish I was, but I just remember like deep diving her interviews and like learning about her life and learning about the shit she's already done, and just being like, bro,
crazy character, yeah.
Dude, she's just endured a lot, and I feel for her, and I love her to death, and I would love nothing more than to like produce a track. I don't even need to be on the bitch. I just want to produce for her.
Real. That'd be fire. Yo, I have another question. So in your first album, you got like the psilocybin trilogy. What inspired you to do that? What was kind of the idea behind that?
If you've ever listened to this band called Tool,
Okay.
you might see the immediate influence
Got
in
you.
that song
Got
for
you, got you,
sure.
got you.
I definitely grew up listening to a lot of rock, as you said, but
Mhm.
like I always liked different facets, and like as I grew up, kind of wiggled around the rock world. I really liked heavy metal. I really liked punk rock. Even to this day, I would say like punk is one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
Fucking love punk. I love metal too, don't get me wrong. I love doom metal specifically, but like as a whole, like there's certain genres that I just love more than others. But
Cool.
in my younger days, I loved heavy metal. I loved like prog metal, like anything that was very like jazz influenced in the heavy metal.
Yeah.
So that's really where that song kind of like took inspiration from, was like bands like Tool and Mastodon and even like Dream Theater, who would like create these very fucking epic songs that were like 20 minutes, 10 minutes long. And it's just like, yo. So I really wanted a 13-minute record. And when I was making it, the whole album, as you know, is like cut up in like two versions. There's the what I call the gallery edition, and then just the regular version. Yeah. The gallery edition, the whole point of that is like those songs are like married. So it's like when you go into a museum, every room is like curated with like art pieces. So that was kind of the idea, is that every song is a room in a gallery.
Right.
So Psilocybin Soprano, while it's like technically 3 songs, it's like one whole movement.
Right. It's like one whole, and it flows well. Yeah.
I wanted to do a movement song. I don't know many rappers that have like, oh, this is the first movement of my song. So
that's crazy.
Kind of on that type shit.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the first song is in, I want to say 5/8. It's like all weird time signatures too.
Yeah,
I don't use 4/4. And I wanted to just rip. Like, fuck, dude. That guitar solo on the first part of Psilocybin Soprano is probably one of my favorite compositions. Yeah. It's literally just it's fucking crazy effects. It's what did I record that one with? Was that the Les Paul? I was at my uncle's house and he had a gang of guitars. Shout out my uncle. And I was like, yo, I need to finish my album. And I was house sitting, so I was just using all his guitars.
Hell yeah.
It was great. I used a Fender Strat. I used his Les Paul. He is like a John Mayer Stratocaster specifically. So shout out John Mayer. He had a Cherry SG. Yeah. Fire as fuck. And then he had a fucking amazing sounding Taylor guitar. And I used all 4 of those for the album, but I think that song, Psilocybin Soprano, is the Les Paul.
Got you.
And shit, I fucking love that guitar work.
Hell yeah. Nah, you're cool because you got like you're like not afraid to do like super out there like wacky creative
Hell
music. Because a lot of people will be like, I gotta do like this and this so it can do on this and this and this, and like you got like super successful off of like wacky kind of out there shit, and it works. It works well. So that's fire. But what are the next plans for Hiram? What do we got going on? You got the mixtape. You got the
I might do a slew of mixtapes with how much music I just have laying around at this point.
Got a lot in the vault.
I wouldn't say a lot, but definitely enough for like 1.5 projects, and we're growing to 2. So I don't know if I'm gonna do like a trilogy. Okay. I'm definitely thinking about doing maybe like a mixtape trilogy. Shout out The Weeknd. But I don't know. The second album that is of Hiram Torres is always being worked on. Yeah. And like that will come out one day. But immediately really just working with Nevi, getting Nevi's album out. Idol coming soon. Yeah. Idol Grooves is on the way. I'm so excited. We've been fucking 2-3 years now.
Right, cause I remember when I saw him like August 23, and he was like, I don't know if it was the same one, but he was like, I'm working on a project. I was like,
definitely that one. Okay. Because like we fucking finished really recording the songs probably 1.5 years ago. I don't think we have music we've made since then, but like that album and everything that's been made for that album is probably like 1.5 years now. It's like the last time we touched it, a year of like actually recording shit for the album. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited as fuck though. That's gonna be big. We have one more. He has like at least 2 more singles we're gonna drop. Right. I'm on 1 more. I'm only on 2 songs on the whole album. Yeah, I didn't want to be on too much. I really wanted to just produce it. Yeah. I'm so excited. Idol Grooves, Hiram Torres mixtape. Yeah. It's gonna be called. I'll tell you the title. It's gonna be called. It's Hot in Topeka.
That's your next album.
My next project.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. It's Hot in Topeka. Word. Also, we gotta talk. You had a rap beef recently. Yeah. I did not know. I don't know who the person is. I didn't know like the context. I just saw a bunch of posts and a diss track, but the diss track went hard. So I commend you for that.
Shout out the diss track.
Yeah. What was like the origin of that? Why'd you? Did they have a song against you? Was that why?
No. So this is what happened. I was friends with this individual. Yeah. And she was somebody who I was like somewhat, trying to push, mentor, produce for, got you. That kind of bag. And like, I was happy with how they were like moving and trying to like maneuver, grow without me. Yeah, because that's what we want. Like at the end of the day, like I can only do so much for Nevi. Nevi can only do so much for me. That's really like me with everybody. So it's like at some point you got to take it upon yourself.
How did you meet this individual?
Simi, at a Outlyr Collective show.
Oh, okay.
I performed so the first or second Outlyr show, and Simi saw me, came up to me after the show, and was like, "Yo, I need to work with you." And I was like, "Word." Yeah. And I didn't think much of it. And then literally, this is what happened. I'm in my car, and they were in the car next to me, and she was like hollering at me like, "Yo, we are going to work." And I was like, "Word." And she was like, "You know Frank, right?" And I was like, I do know Frank. And she was like, yeah, I'll be recording at his pad. Like, come through to Frank's spot, and we'll make a record one day. Yada, yada. Frank, I don't think was in the car at the time.
But y'all were in the car.
Yeah, she was in the car. I was in the car. In our separate cars. We're about to leave. And, she hollered at me, and I was like, word. So we eventually did have a session. We made a song. We made a song that went on their first album. Yeah. We were good friends. Yada, yada, yada. I was, like, decent. I would consider them a closer friend than others. Like, Simi was at my, like, fucking birthday type shit. I went to her birthday. And, like, it's just escalated to this point where I'm, like, we did a show together in Inglewood. And I was like, I personally told them, I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to dip right after this show. I got work the next day. Yeah. Tight shit. I'm gonna just pull up, pop out, make it look sexy. Yeah. The show kept getting pushed back. And I told Simi, I was like, I gotta go on at this time. Like, we're going on this time, yada, yada, yada. And I felt bad about the situation.
Getting pushed.
Okay. And I was like, we're just gonna have to make this shit happen. Like, I'm gonna have to get on stage. I gotta get home. I gotta go to sleep. I got like an early ass shift. Yada, yada, yada. I got real life, unfortunately. I hate to do this. Yeah. But this is what's gonna happen. And I think that just left a sour taste in her mouth, if I'm being real. And then it just kind of escalated from there.
So you pulled out of the...
No, I didn't pull out. I performed. We did the song together. Yeah. We had a song called Grr that we were performing together. Yeah. And after that show, Simi was moving. Simi's Simi's pretty much in a different circle than Nevi and I. Simi
Got
was
you.
working with these people, and they have a thing called Unreleased. And like, shout out Tuna. Tuna's my homie. I fuck with Tuna.
Yeah.
They're building a platform over there, and like Nevi and I have told Simi and like several people over there, we're like, yo, we don't really fuck with how some of y'all move. We don't really fuck with this one individual who like.
Got you.
Not to shit talk them. I've heard better things. I've heard one of the individuals we had an issue with is a better person now. Thank God.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like I wish them nothing but the success, but it definitely wasn't for Nevi and I. And
Okay.
Like, Simi was still rocking with him. That's cool. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's whatever. Yeah.
But like the circles just kept like. I mean, we just kept kind of distancing, and then I was doing my EP release shows. Originally, I was supposed to drop this EP in October, but it didn't get it's life, so it didn't come out till February. Yeah. But I did like those 4 shows.
Yeah, I pulled up. To
I booked.
LA one,
shout out, and then I booked Simi for 2. I booked Simi for my Long Beach show. Yeah, and for the one in Orange County. Yeah, at Fullerton, and I was like. Telling them like I'm super excited about like the Long Beach one specifically. It's my first time performing in my hometown. It's gonna be a really dope bar that I fuck with. Like it's gonna be we got the sound guy coming in. It's gonna sound great. Like I'm super excited. Yeah, and like I finally like get the poster made, and like I text Simi. I'm like, yo, like here's the poster. Can't wait to perform these shows. And she immediately was like, I can't do the Long Beach one anymore. I have another show. And I was like, word, but we already booked my show. Like
that's some lame shit. Yeah,
it's kind of lame. Which I was like, whatever. Like it's fine. You do you. Like do your show, and the Orange County show comes up. Yeah. And she performs, and I'm not gonna lie, the Orange County show did not go as well as I wanted it to. Okay. Sabi's truck broke down on the way there, so we didn't have sound. Yeah. And we had to use the venue sound, which wasn't as adequate. And then, like, furthermore, like, the promotion on this one was a little rougher. It was a Saturday show in Fullerton. Wasn't the most packed show. Yada. I'm being honest. I'm being real here. Yeah. That's how it is. Sometimes you throw a show and nobody pulls up.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So we're at the OC show, and like I get it, like it is what it is. Yada yada yada. Perform. Yeah. There's people. There's still some people here. Like let's put a show on.
If there's some people, it's gonna go.
And
that's
she
what
did.
I've learned.
Yeah, like, of course. Yeah. And she performed, and we did the fucking event, and yada yada yada. And it was such a sour taste in my mouth. She was just being like fake as fuck.
She was mad that it was like an empty.
I think she was mad at a culmination of things, but it was just like it was starting to be like you're being really bitter towards me for like no fucking reason.
You
at
just
kind of
whack like you're at Homeboy's show, and you're kind of like it might not have anything to do with you, but it's like you got to be supportive of like the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like
which like at the end of the day, I don't like really care about like how you feel, like you can, because like literally the show before or like the week before I had to tell another homie, and we're gonna not name this situation, but like I didn't necessarily have to check him, but I was like, dog, like this is the situation, these are the cards I'm dealing you, and there's no other decision, like and that was that night, and then we talked the next time like nothing happened. It's all good, like shit happens. It's rap. We gonna get into disagreements, but it's like I don't know. Don't come with the fucking fakeness and just like be weird. And I'm just like, dude, like we were friends. Like, why are you treating me like some stranger? And you're just like acting like I'm some fucking promoter who just put you on. You're just like, thank you for putting me on. Like, bitch, you've been to my house. Like, what's going on here? And then like, I didn't say shit. And I don't remember if this happened before. I'm pretty sure this did happen before. Before that show. I think I'm low-key skipping a detail that I should add in, and that's just because my memory's a little out of balance. But Simi had me on a song for their last album that they were going to drop. And
so it was the next album.
We had,
because you were on the, because I saw you were on the, but then they had a new album that you were going to be on. Okay, gotcha.
I was supposed to be on it. I produced a song. I was really excited for the song. I did a verse. Now, Simi decided to do a 12-hour session running from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. Yeah. In the Valley. And she was like, everybody's pulling up to finish the album this night. Yeah. Tuna's going to be on the board. He's going to just handle it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, this is gonna suck. This is a fucking overnight session. You're getting everybody to be in here. I pull up. I'm fucking tired as fuck already.
Yeah.
Homegirl Tori's in there tired as fuck. We're all in there like tired as fuck. And I'm just like, dog, I'm going to go to sleep for a second while other artists were doing their shit.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of getting frustrated in there, dude, because it's like all these people have to come in and record something and then get out, and we're waiting on like Joe Schmo to finish their verse or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, like.
This is not like a Revenge of the Dreamers style.
Fuck
like,
no.
Fun. No, this is like, no, yeah.
There's a bunch of underground LA artists from this scene who Nevi and I feel like aren't at our level of artistry. No offense to them, but like, let's be fucking real here.
Right.
And it's just like, I told you to send me straight up, like, after that session, I was like, I don't like my verse.
Yeah.
I don't like what I just wrote.
Right.
And, like, I tell Simi, like, I guess they had submitted everything, and I was like, can I hear the song? Like, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it since we recorded it.
Yeah.
Like, if it's submitted. And I was worried, because I was like, if this shit sucks, I'm going to tell you to take it off. I don't care if you submitted it.
No, yeah.
And it was trash, in my opinion. Like, as far as my, like, my name goes. I didn't want my name to be on that verse.
Right.
And I was like, let's take it off.
Yeah.
And that I'm pretty sure that happened before the OC show. So that was another major catalyst. I don't want to skip that detail, but that was another reason why they were acting the way they were.
Okay. Yeah.
And to like devil's advocate the situation, I get it. We should have nipped this in the bud before, but like I didn't have the fucking song.
You gotta like clear the shit before it gets released. Like that's how professional like beat like you said. Like, cause I know people who like send beats and they just like put it on a song, but you have to like clear the song with the producer.
I've had issues with producers. That's why I don't really work with that many producers. I've had a song where I'm like, I literally play. It was funny as fuck. I'm at a place and I'm sharing music with an artist, and then one of my songs comes on, and they're like, "What the?" They just look at me, and I'm like, "Don't tell me you have this beat too." And they were like, "Yeah," and we both like we knew the producer, and we're just like. Word. So now neither of us really, I don't think, ever are going to use that song. It's
exactly.
Like,
like, you got to clear it with the producer before you, like, because it's like, when his song is, like, out on streaming, that's, like, legal shit. Like, that's, like, you can, like, get sued if you, like, don't clear the beat.
Word. Yes. So I told Simi straight up, I was like, bruh, you can keep this song. I don't care, but take my verse off. Like, whatever. I don't want that shit on there.
Yeah.
The shit that made the pot boil over was when the album came out after the OC show, after all that shit, after us like kind of just being weird towards each other, or her being weird towards me, I would say, because
so building
try to keep it chill. The projects is out, and I'm like, I didn't get an email or anything for splits or anything like that.
Damn.
And I'm like, I did produce the track. Even if I didn't want to be on it. According to Simi. When I said I didn't want to be on it, that meant I gave away all my rights to the song.
But you still made the beat.
Case in point.
Yeah.
In no legal situation or scenario would I not get credit just because I didn't want to be on the song.
So you're not even credited on the song?
Nope. Not once.
That's crazy.
Which, at the end of the day, like, I had homies tell me, like, it ain't worth it to beef over somebody over that, because it's like, I have songs I don't have credits on. It is what it is. What the fuck are they really going to do at the end of the day? And I was like, it's not even really about that. I just genuinely use that as the reason to be like, nah, you're being shitty. Fuck you. And that's kind of what that became at that point. I was like, cool, now you're really disrespecting me. And like, and I learned that she was like, the day I made the diss track and dropped it, like I was feeling a type of way, and I texted Simi like, yo, like what the fuck are you doing? Like, no response. And she was upset because, like, I think when the album came out, I texted Tuna. I was like, congrats on the project. Can you tell Simi to text me about the splits? And I didn't even say shit to Simi because I was like, I don't have nothing to fucking say to you right now.
Real shit,
I have nothing to say to you. I'm gonna go to Tuna so Tuna can tell you need to check your fucking self. And it didn't. She just took that as more offense and like shit talked me on her like personal story that day. And I was like, cool. So now you're shit talking me. After I did so much for you, after I fucking mentored you, gave you beats for free, which I don't do for anybody. After you begged me.
She was shit talking you too.
Yeah, she shit talked me the day I made that diss track. I made that diss track on I was just watching football. I had Red Zone on in the background. Hit record, made that shit.
I was like, whoa, you're really going in on this individual's.
And that was like, that was such a warning shot. dog. Like that was such not even like
Crazy.
I didn't go hard at all in my opinion. I was just really trying to provoke the bear and being like, yo, you took my beat. Like because that beat is the beat that's on the project.
Yeah.
So the beat I'm on is literally the song that she didn't give me credit for.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. Well, it's my beat. I'm gonna diss you on it. And then like I did a lot of shit on that song. Like we had another song in the vault where like the end part where I go, was beef, you are my function. That's from a whole other song we had. I had a whole song where like that was the hook that she was on, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna fuck that song up for you too.
Yeah.
It was really just like a fuck you. Like it was in the middle of her album like release cycle. I think she didn't even fucking do anything after that.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. Yeah. I felt very happy and content.
Wait, did they release any like song back?
So this is what happened. She was just hanging out with them unreleased people. And there's this rapper named Deluce Cannon who decided to like talk shit on me on a freestyle. Okay. That's the only response we've gotten since then.
Got you.
And I was just like laughing. It was funny as fuck because I was like, why did you just insert yourself in a beef?
That's crazy.
So bizarre.
This is like a genuine like beef. Like this is like a this is like a genuine like issue that you have like personally. It's not just like some diss tracks for fun. Cause like I'll hear like diss tracks like from like famous rappers, and I'll be like, are they really like beefing, or are they just like doing shit just for like clout type shit?
Right.
But no, this is like you actually have like issues, like unresolved issues that you need to solve with this bro. That's crazy.
I don't even think I need to solve them at this point.
Nah,
all that's been said has been said.
Yeah, if they shit talking you, let's like.
It's really at this point it's funny, but it was just funny because this boy just like disses me. And like I made a diss track towards him too, and I didn't drop it.
Oh, okay.
I just sent it to him.
Do you know this guy who inserted himself in the?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's the whole freestyle is dedicated to shit talking you though.
Pretty much, literally, and it was like the worst bars I've ever heard.
He just felt inspired, I guess. He was just like this.
He felt inspired.
I see this person in my life who is doing this stuff, and I feel inspired. Like I need to write a song about this.
It's just like he was in the cypher with Simi that they released for Unreleased, which is the other platform that Tune is doing, and they're doing the cypher, and literally all his lines were like, "That 5'6" guy, he's trash." Like that was genuinely the diss track, and I was just like, Nevi called me, and we just fucking laughed at bro. We laughed at bro.
But Simi was in the
cypher and didn't say anything about me. Everything that was said about me was by this other individual. Crazy. And like I literally made a diss track, sent it to him, and was like, I'm not gonna drop it because you're not worth the time. You're not worth the time. I don't think he ever even read it. So Lucas, if you're watching this, I got a diss track for you.
Hey yo, I'm not involved in this. If I meet you at a function,
he's not involved in this. I am.
On the podcast anytime.
Yeah,
I just like
tell your story, motherfucker.
I just like people talking this shit on the.
I don't know why you decided to insert yourself in this shit. You little dumbass. But anyway,
I don't know any of these people, so
I'll fuck you up.
Word. Well, that's cool. So if you don't know the origins of the diss track now we know.
I'm not gonna lie, that beat is so hard. I was telling
Nevi. It's a really good
beat.
Yeah. No, I've not heard the actual song, like the Simi song. I'm sure your version, but not. It's good. The beat's hard for sure. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. No, for real. How long you been growing your hair out?
Dude, I haven't technically like really cut it since high school.
Oh shit.
Like genuinely. Like I've had trims, but I haven't even had trim in years, dude. It's fucked up. I need to get a trim. I'm just lazy.
And so you've had long hair since high school?
Yeah. I think freshman year is when I started growing it out. I'll find pictures for you one day.
What?
I'll find pictures for you when it started. It was like here. I had like the bowl cut, and then it just kept going.
Oh, okay, got you.
It wasn't by like sophomore year that I had like locks.
Got you. Fire. Okay, yeah. Been growing my hair out since I was 2 years old.
Yo, shout out all the 2-year-olds with long hair right now.
Shout out.
That'll be my 2-year-old in the future.
Shout out to the toddlers with long hair, cause you meet the most interesting parents. Cause like,
I was about to say shout out the parents next.
No, for real. Cause like I'll be going to school. It was my decision to grow my hair when I was 2 because I was autistic. So but like there was this kid who I was friends with, and the mom I guess was like, the second I saw you like walking your kid to school, I knew we had to be friends because you had. And I was like, you meet people like this.
We love that.
Yep. But what's your favorite song, by the way? What's
of all time?
Yeah, or no, like of your music. Yeah.
Oh, of my songs, of my music. I might have to say Forrest Whitaker because it's just like it's the one.
Classic.
It's just
that's
the one.
Classic. Yeah.
When you know you have the one, it's
That's
the
a
one.
good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Word. Well, Hiram, Easy.
Much love, Easy.
Free Palestine. Shout out Jimmy K. Feds and the Squeak Squad.
Type shit.
We out.
Fake radio. Blah.
Radio.